That's the thing that comes to my mind when I see her. She's so big-barreled and still with that is big-footed and just has lots of give. And every once in a while, she wants to get her top up just a little, just ever so slightly. She's kind of a knothead to show, and it might be that she maybe have something to do with the gentleman leading her. I don't know. I don't know him, so. But you look at her, and she combines the next three, four females, and I guess that's what I see. Me personally, I'd probably tidy her up just a little bit under her neck, but she's still feminine-headed. We don't lose a feminine look. I just like the cow power to her. There was never a doubt in my mind of which one I was going to use to win the class. My challenge came in second and third, trying to figure out what to do there, because the female in second has a touch more chest floor to her. She reads with just a not as square shape coming out of the top of her shoulder, and she reads to be the heavier conditioned female to me of those two females. So I asked myself, I peel some of that condition off, and what's there in that female? And I think she's a bolder bodied, deeper ribbed female, and that's where I made my decision. I think there's more depth from flank to chest, and just more barrel to that female at this point. Now, the challenge is, as you guys know as well as I do, is that feed driven, or is that she has more true mass? I can't tell you that. Today she just reads to be a bigger bodied, deeper bodied female, and that's where I made my decision. She's sound, I just lean her up some. The big stout featured, I love the Hereford look. I mean, she's bold-footed and just massive in terms of bone, and still wide-pinned and wide-hipped. And from the side, she reads just a hair shallower than the two females in front of her. But I'm going to tell you, she's also hadn't seen as much feed as those two in front of her. So there's some give and take. And I just want to say that I think that's a really long-sided, sound, good-structured female. And I think you have to appreciate her. She gives up some in terms of just sheer mass compared to those two in front of her. Big scaled female gives me some challenges here what to decide to do with, but along with the big, while she stops, she's really attractive. You get her on the go and you start to study her really careful from the ground up. She's a bit more rigid out of her pastern. She doesn't quite have the flex and give that the two females in front of her have, and that's going to be one that carries some added frame. And I just happen to find females that suited me a little better in terms of being able to move easier and still had that balance and attractiveness that I like. Nothing wrong with the female we conclude with. She just runs out of balance in that front 1/3, just a bit more masculine, but still big-bodied, really powerful, good doing kind of a female. But again, put your hands together. That was a fun class to sort.
First place in that class and went to entry number 142, Remital West Bell ET45F from Remital West in Medonte Highlands. In second spot, entry number 140, RSK H117 Miss Sage ET21F from Golden Oak Livestock, Kennedy Pageant, and Blair's Egg. In third spot, entry number 146, GH5Z Fresca Delight ET45F from JK Fraser Cattle. In fourth, entry number 143, FCC 501C Betty 7F from Fluellen Cattle. And in fifth spot, entry number 145, GH Ruger's Gem 121F from Nelson Hershey Purebreds. So coming back, we have our first place from our first split, entry number 137, GH MVP Fair Desi ET515F from Nelson Hershey Purebreds. And first place from our second split, entry number 142, Remital West Bell ET45F from Remital West in Medonte Highlands. And second place from our first split, entry number 138, HBL Fancy 815 ET JK Fraser Cattle. And our second place from our second split, entry number 140, RSK H117 Miss Sage ET21F from Golden Oak, Kennedy Pageant, and Blair's Egg.
I've cursed, I prayed, I've said
So our junior champion goes to entry number 142, Remitol West Bell ET45F from Remitol West in Medonte Highlands. And our reserve goes to entry number 137, GH MVP Fair Desi ET515 from Nelsie Hershey Purebreds. So we now have our 2-year-old cow-calf pair from our Shorthorn show. We're also going to have the mature pair join the 2-year-olds. So they're each their respective class, and we will determine a senior champion.
Drive your truck, I roll every window down, and I burn up every back road in this town. I find a field, I tear it up till all the pain's a cloud of dust. Yes, sometime, brother, sometime I drive your truck. Drive your truck. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. I drive your truck.
To describe our two pairs, the pair to my right, the dark red cow and calf, you know, from a look standpoint, from a length standpoint, these two are very, very attractive and do that. Love the udder design, the teat placement, the levelness and strength of the floor of that udder on that female. She's sharp-fronted. When she gets on the go, though, she picks her top up just a little bit, and I guess I'd flatten her top. And on that heifer calf we talked about in class, she's big top and big hip, but a bit tubular in her rib shape. And I think you look at her mother, you can see maybe that's where a hair of that comes from. The cow's sure improved on the calf, powering that calf up, so they give her some credit there. But I'd like to just soften that cow's top just a touch when she gets on the go. Appreciate the structure and design, the flexibility that we see on the go, though, up front at the ground. Bigger bodied, stouter female, probably saw some feed in terms of being a show female. I think when you read her, though, she has more shape in terms of her forerib, in terms of the design to her rib, and that's to her advantage. Wide-based, wide-hipped female, same with the calf, has some stoutness, some power. We want to tidy the navel up on both of those just a little bit. But I like that type, the added rib shape and power and body dimension that we see, just how much mass, or the mass difference allows me to use the cow with the roan calf as our champion in this division. The cow with the red calf would be a reserve. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
So our senior champion goes to entry number 349, Golden View Lassie 130E from Golden View Shorthorns. And our reserve senior goes to entry number 350, HB Swag Delight 1D from Lilac Lane Farm. We have our 2-year-old cow-calf pairs in our Hereford show.
If I'm not mistaken, this was the calf that led the show earlier today, right? And boy, I like that calf. And the cow comes out, and you have to give that cow some credit for having a heifer calf like this. Nice in terms of the shape to her udder. Might want to drop her forequarter down ever so slightly. But when you've got a heifer calf like this at side, she's doing lots of things right. Cows, you know, and from a soundness standpoint, she reads right to me. From a slope and angle standpoint, when she comes out here, wants to taper ever so slightly down low. But when you have a heifer calf like this at side, I'm not going to be super critical. Nice pair. Congratulations to these individuals.
So first place goes to entry number 147, GH MVP Alyssa 281E from Nelson Hershey Purebreds. Class number 6, Hereford mature cow-calf pairs making their way into the ring. We have 3 entries in this class, and judge, your class is complete.
The Georgia night. Look around, 'cause it don't get any better. Have you ever felt so alright?